Greetings and welcome to another excellent chess video. So this is the third video I'm making on the road to 2300, and I had a couple other games that were close but did not go my way, and I got this game and I was concentrating more and things just felt better. My spidey senses were on, and we'll get to that momentarily. So let's go check it out. Game review on. All right. I played some games earlier today. I wasn't in the early games. I was close, but I felt, I don't know, slightly off and, didn't do that well. But I kept pounding because, it was like you got to make a comeback in at least one game, okay? Had to have something good, which I got. Now, the key thing is, if you haven't seen many of my other videos, you need to look at my mega training videos where I do like 50 problems randomly from chess.com, Puzzle Rush, survival mode. And let me tell you, if you think it's easy, go take a shot at it yourself. You'll be shocked at how hard it actually is. Every problem gets more difficult. The key point is to sharpen your tactics makes understanding positional chess a little bit easier, because it's like you play a sport, and if you train your muscles with weightlifting or drills, what have you, it makes the sports moves simpler for your body. In chess, tactical training is like muscle power, and it makes the understanding of positional concepts better because you have a better read on what's going on the chessboard. So let's go check out this game that I played with this guy from this master from Puerto Rico. So he plays the English opening. I love to play against the English opening with my Dutch defense, f5. Now he chooses to play an accelerated fianchetto. Means he's going to be a bishop to g2, pressuring the long diagonal, which is uncool for me because I like playing the same thing from the black side. But, that's okay. You're playing, well, I say you, I mean myself. Playing in the big boy league, you're going to play against big boy moves. So you got to learn how to play against big boy positions. So here, e6 and f5, dark square bishop gets freed. I want to try and pressure this knight. It becomes a c3 because I'm looking to keep pressure on e4 as much as possible. All right, he did it knight c3, bishop b4. This position normally you'd see like this would be a Nimzo Indian. So bam, he challenges my bishop. I already go there knowing I will chop it off. No hesitation. He captures the way I thought it was best as well. B takes c3. Now, since my dark square bishop is gone, d6, setting myself up to play like knight c6 and develop my queenside pieces. There's no threat here. Only bishop pressure is on b7. So you can take time to play a d6 move when you don't have multiple pieces threatening your position. Now, the computer doesn't like e3, but there's quite a good piece of logic behind this move. I castle. Don't be fancy. That's one of my dad's rules. So he played e3. Why did he play e3? Well, if you couldn't figure it out, he shows you. He wants to develop the knight and keep this bishop pressure on b7, which is completely logical. Now, the computer is super strong. People are different because people have preferences, things that they've done that have been successful for them. I will guarantee you that this guy has had a lot of success with this e3, knight e2 position. He's no dummy, all right? You're in the big leagues, and you're going to play against big league players. and they know something. If you don't know it, well, they know something maybe that you don't. So you have to be respectful of your opponent, because if you're not respectful, you're going to get into trouble. I mean, the computer is a grandmaster level analyzer. All right. Well, neither of us are grandmasters, but we are very good players. All right. Queen E8 is thematic. Gives us action over here on H5 if necessary. Queen G6, preventing E4 once again is very possible. Now, again, this is a really good move. Castling kingside, terrific. The computer had made a comment about, casting on, casting on the same side as the other king was kind of like, it seemed like it was dismissive. It's like, where are you going to castle? Queen side? Not today. He's castling king side. It's obvious. It isn't rocket science. White castles king side after knight e2 because that's the smartest thing you can do. All his king side pieces have been developed. All my king side pieces have been developed. It's all good. Now, it's not up here development like you would have, in a more attacking game, but it's real solid. He's not threatening things directly much, and neither am I. So we're maneuvering. This is a maneuvering game at this point, more so than a tactical skirmish. So E5, get my pawns off the light squares. The weakness of E5 potentially, though, is that this F5 pawn becomes vulnerable. Potentially. All right. D3, okay move. Again, there's a lot of solidity here, but a grandmaster says that you can play a different move, and the move was C5. That is not a normal move, bro. C5 is a dangerous move, but it's not normal. But again, he's playing more restrained, not getting crazy. Get your pieces out, then go to work. The computer can go to work at a very early stage because the computer's calculating ability is quite staggeringly good. Okay, doesn't care for this move. Why would I go bishop to here? He just chops this pawn off, getting my rook. That does not compute. I don't get it, man. Whatever, dude. I'm not even going to worry about it. Now, if my knight moves, he chops b7. So what I'm going to do here is I'm looking. You got to look at this very carefully. The thing I have to look at is I'm going to play b6. He can play queen to a4, but it's really not that big of a deal. He can't put another attacker here. I would just play bishop to b7 and then play knight to a5 or knight to d8. Bishop would take bishop, and then knight would take the bishop back, and we're good. Okay. He cannot. When I play b6, you got to be super careful because you're walking into a pin, and if he plays queen to a4, it's a double pin, sort of. I mean, the knight could move from the queen's perspective, but the bishop pin is really devastating. You got to be super careful. Don't be a robot. Okay. I could have also played e4, which is a really good move. I didn't even think about playing that because if he takes it, e4 is the best move. If he takes, knight takes. He's certainly not going to play bishop takes because my queen would just rule this square, attacking this c4 pawn. It's just not good positionally to give up this g2 bishop for a knight on e4 unless that knight is threatening to win material. That's really what it boils down to. Okay, so I did this risky, but you have to be calculating early, and I've got it covered. All right. This move is a little more dangerous than I anticipated. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude, no problem. Again, e4 is the best move because pawn takes, knight takes, and I'm in great position. But I wasn't really thinking 100% correctly about this. I was taking care of getting my bishop here. I'm like, yeah, he played pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, but he's got a killer move against queen takes pawn. He didn't see it, and neither did I. The computer saw it, and I checked it out. I was like, oh, my God, dude. That move is rook to b5. Super unnatural move. And it's really good. And there's nothing you could do about it. but he didn't see it, and it happens. I didn't see it either. Both of us were completely blind to that move. I played queen takes because that's what I planned to do. All right. Rook b5 is just a nasty move. Fortunately, he didn't see it. This knight f4 wasn't bothering me at all. Knight a5, this is the plan. I want to eliminate this super bishop over here. d4, I don't know, man. It seemed a little questionable because he's now making this e4 whole like Swiss cheese. Queen e7, obvious move. Clearly, well, I say obvious move. Obvious to me. Okay. Queen here loses. Knight takes free queen. Queen e7. The only other choice is queen e8, and there's no reason to go there. So it was queen e7 all the way. So I say this move is an obvious move. But, my mind is working, paying attention, looking what threats do I have, what threats does he have. My dad's rule number 2, what's he trying to do to me? He was trying to hey, smart move, attack my queen. Bad move, he makes a Swiss cheese square out of e4. So it's tomato, tomato. Very, very dangerous move, that jerk. It's attacking my queen. It's like, oh, you stink. I don't want to give up my bishop for this knight. If I play bishop takes knight, he can play pawn takes bishop, which I guess is okay. I want to play knight to e4. This is a Swiss cheese. If I go knight takes knight, he's got pawn takes knight. So it's like, 50-50. So I decided I would play knight takes knight. He's going to play pawn. He won't play bishop takes. If he plays bishop takes, I just play bishop takes. Okay. Pawn takes here. And then queen e4. I'm going to eat this pawn. Well, not this. Well, yes. Well, I'm threatening to eat this pawn. Not really. He's got queen f3, so he's okay with that. I thought this is the best move also. My knight is inconvenienced. However, I do have bishop a6 transferring diagonals and then knight back to b7. And there you go. It's fairly obvious. Well, one of the things that's important about this game, we're playing a position that I've played this pawn formation, this similar position for 40 years, okay? Because I'm older. In fact, yesterday was my birthday. I turned 63. So I've been playing this for 40 years. I'm familiar with this. You want to find an opening that fits your style of play. This fits my style. Become very familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. And so the thematic moves that you're going to come up with, bishop to a6, these get programmed, early in the opening study for myself in the early 80s. Okay. So I'm taking advantage of human traits with this opening, and this is why I felt like I was doing well. And when I first turned on the analysis, I said my opponent played a 2000 level game. I played a 2450. I felt like I was doing well, and the numbers from the computer said yes, it was one of the best games I've played in a couple of years, actually. So I felt really good about that. But I felt that I was going well, and as the game is going, I didn't miss much. I did miss rook to b5, but so did my opponent. I mean, it was not a normal move. So it's like in a rapid game, you're going to miss stuff. Everybody is. Okay, we're all missing things. I watched a game earlier today where I saw Praggnanandhaa. He made a humongous blunder, and that guy is an awesome player. Hey, if he can blunder, you can blunder, and I can blunder. All right? Now, neither of us made blunders here, but it happens even to the best of them. And Prague is one of the best there is. That guy was just a fantastic player. And I love to watch his games because he's super smart and highly refined tactically. So he is trying to, this is an obvious move. Rook to f4 Very bizarre move. Now, the advantage of rook to f4 is I don't have a piece that can knock him off. I can play g5, but then I can't defend my f-pawn with this g-pawn. So rook to f4 looks visually a little suspect, okay? And in my other videos, I will mention this concept called chess eye versus chess brain. Chess brain says rook f4. That's what the computer's saying. Chess eye says rook f4 is not good. It's suspicious. It's a little loosish. Normally, I don't have a dark square bishop, so he's good with that. I don't have another knight on this side of the board, so I understand why he plays rook f2. That is the standard rapid or blitz style move, because it's like this is a safe. It's doing something positive and safe. That's what rook f2 is, and that's why it's a check mark good move. Players learn these things, and you're playing with your human tendencies, because this is how you got to this level 2200 plus, all right, which is very difficult to get to. All right, so now, again, I use the phrase obvious move. Yeah, I could have played bishop to c4, but I was thinking he might just go bishop f1, but I could take this pawn. I mean, I wasn't. Again, I'm following my dad's rules. Don't get fancy. What piece is not developed? Now, objectively, the knight is developed-ish. I'm threatening to go to c4 to help the bishop, etc. Bishop could go anywhere on this diagonal. That's safe, but bishop c4, for example. Bishop is also controlling f1, keeping the heavy pieces off of f1. So this bishop is super developed in this position, okay? This is the key. So to me, just like my opponent plays rook to f2, which is a very solid and smart move, even though the computer says it's not the best move, I play the same type of move that he played. Rook f2 is met by rook a e8, because this rook's doing nothing. It's just, I'm gonna, what am I gonna kick this pawn in the butt? No, I'm gonna play rook to e8, get on the semi-open file. His rook is on the semi-open file. The only thing he can do is play like queen to f3. So rook a to e8, even though it wants me to play bishop here, I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't know. It's like, I like this better. This feels like the right move, the spidey senses. Okay, rook queen f3. Well, he can play queen c2, obviously. So, rule number 2. What's he trying to do to me? He's trying to play rook takes pawn. He's got queen and rook, 2 attackers versus 1 defender, so I need to defend this pawn. Doink. Don't be fancy is what my dad would say. Now, if this bishop wasn't blocked by this pawn, this could be a very loose move and weakening of my position. But again, you got to learn to read the position. He's not threatening to do anything. If he plays e4, I'm just going to take it and liquidate pieces and move my pieces to the f file. And, king will go up to like g7, queen f6, what have you. I'll be a great position for black. So g6 is the natural move in my mind. All right, I mean, it's minus 2.3. I'm doing good. Here he makes a huge mistake. And when he made it, it wasn't obvious. This is the handling of this position is critical. And I was looking at it and go, man, this feels wrong. And so when it feels wrong, it's time to think. All right. So, oh, by the way, I'm wearing Infinity Gauntlet ring. So, just for this video, I don't normally wear this, but it felt wrong. And so what happens here is like, we got to do some calculation like I do in my mega training videos. So what happens? He's got 2 defenders. I've got 3 attackers. Pawn takes. All right. I go, well, if I play pawn takes, rook takes rook, and then rook takes here is a great move. Because if I take with the king, he can play queen f2 check first. So I want to play pawn takes, rook takes check, rook takes, and then I'm going to, if he recaptures the bishop, recaptures the pawn with the bishop, I have a surprise move for him. See if you can pause the video and figure out what the surprise move for black is after f takes e4, rook takes rook check, rook takes f8, bishop captures e4. And I'll be back here in 3, 2, 1. The answer is, and it wasn't obvious, but the calculation was that I'm going to play rook on f to e8, skewering this bishop and threatening to get into his back rank because this bishop is undefended. And so the back rank is undefended. So let's check this out. This is wicked. He takes it. Again, the mistake for black is to, that's it. You know, bishop h6 was a good move. I don't think it's great, you know, to erase the fact that he's losing-ish, but it is a great move. He's doing to me what I'm doing to him. He's guarding f8, and I'm guarding f1. I think I just play rook takes and then just queen over here, and it's fine. He's kind of in trouble. He's looking, staring down the face of knight to c4, maybe playing e3 or knight takes a3. I don't think knight takes a3 is very good. This pawn actually is helping me. He can't mess with me. But bishop h6 is a tremendous move. But in a rapid game, he plays a safety-ish type move. It looks safe. This is the key. It isn't safe because there's a hidden move, which the computer sees, obviously. And I play the crushing move is rook to e8. Best move on the board. I didn't know that. I was sitting there double checking this going, this is the process. He took the pawn and I'm like, what do I need to do? Do I want to play, you know, queen? I can't play. I look at it. Well, what if I play, say, queen to f6? Well, I've taken the pressure off of this bishop. And, you know, he has time to play bishop to h6, for example. And so I realized that my advantage is I've got pressure on this bishop. Let's add pressure to it. And like I said, it's a skewer. And so once I realized I'm skewering the e1 square, I started looking at this and go, what is he going to do? You know, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's he trying to do to me? And in this case, what am I doing to him is the flip side of the coin. Rook e8, I did not know it was best move on the board, and it's best move on the board. And it's like, I see this already. He can't move this bishop. Well, he can move it, but it looks like he can move it, but he actually loses if he moves this bishop. This move is losing. King to f2. Let's look at this. But I mean, I'm almost a rook up in this position. The material is absolutely even. I'm almost a rook up. It's that bad. King to f2. Well, what in the heck is king to f2? What does this do? Oh, he gives it the bishop. You know, the computer says you need to give up the bishop. Your development is horrible. It's actually, you know, better than what happens, because what happens is actually worse. But this is the weird part. Queen takes bishop, queen takes, rook takes, and I'm a knight up. And knight c4 is devastating. It's just nasty stuff. So that's the deal. It was such an absurd move, king to f2. It took me a while to realize I could just take the bishop. So he plays, this move looks completely safe. But I realized there's a problem. What is the problem? The mistake. This is the difference. When you're at master level, you understand things that I'd like to take his bishop. What happens if I play bishop takes d3? Now you can pause the video if you want, and I'll give you the answer in 3, 2, 1. If I play bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, queen to e1 check, he's got queen to f1, and he's safe. So I realized I don't want to take this bishop yet. I want to check him first. Queen e1 check. Where are you going now, Bobby Fischer? Is what my dad would say. king to g2. Now I take the bishop because I'm going to play rook to e2 check. So he plays queen takes, rook e2 check, king h3, and is there something I can do to take advantage of this position? I feel I'm winning. My spidey senses are telling me I'm winning, and I was winning. This is one of those things you have to pay attention to your, to me, the spidey senses is a byproduct of the chess eye, okay? And there's a killer move here. Here's the question. The correct move is queen e1 check, king g2. If he plays king to f2, actually that's not possible. So king g2 only move. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. He probably should just play bishop to h6 or something, and what have you. The killer move is rook e2 check, king to h3, queen to f1 is a crusher. This is a crusher's move. So here you go. Best move on the board. I knew this was the best move when I looked at it. I'm like, so it's the order of attack. Bishop takes bishop. I was like wanting to play this move, but I said, let me flip the order, take the check first, and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, you're annihilated here. You're just annihilated. Because rook to e2 check blocks the queen from coming back. So this is hammer time. That's forced. It's not the best move. It's the only move, which is the best move. It's over. Best move, but it's now over. He has to play queen takes rook, right? That's like the best move. Rook e2 check is best, of course. He's looking at king h3 is losing. That's the best move? Well, you're doomed. Queen f1 check is a devastator. That's what I saw. And as my dad would say, play the win that you see. Queen f1 check. All right? Turns out it's the best move. This is what I calculated. Because what happens here is that if he goes queen to h4, I got him with at least rook to h2, and I'm discovering an attack winning his queen. Okay, this is the thing. He is just flat out annihilated. That's the best move? Yeah, Will, good luck with that. Here's the question. What is the best move for black in this position? Now, here's the thing. You could look at the side of the board and see the computer stuff. Now, for me, those letters are super tiny, and I have to move in closer to actually read them easily. I can tell what they say, but the thing the thing that helps you is to not cheat. You're not cheating objectively, but you're cheating yourself mentally. When I'm playing the game, there is no bar, okay? Obviously, when anyone plays the game, there's no bar. That would be actual cheating. You want to have a sense for what's going on. And I'm from the old school, back when you showed up with a board and a clock, and that's it. All right. And your chess engine analysis was whatever strong player you had at your local chess club, or if you knew players at a tournament, and they would come and look at your game sometimes and give you suggestions. You meet people, and this is where being a normal guy who is friendly comes into your favor. Okay, I had all kinds of people that I knew that were friendly to me, good players, man. You can't have too many good players as friends. The move here, if you haven't figured it out now, is h5 check. He is dusted when I play h5 check. And the computer says that is the best move. But here's the dealio. When I played rook to e8, I analyzed. He moves the bishop to d3. I'm going to take it. King, queen takes, check. Here, rook checks, king h3. And I'm like, I can't check him with my queen. Oh, yes, I can on h1. King to h4 loses to rook to e4 check. I'm doing this here in the chess brain. And I see this. I go, well, he's going to play then He can't do that. He's got to play like king to g4. And the only move is like, what am I doing? I can't queen check him like on f5. His queen would take queen. I'm like, that's terrible. I go, oh, h5 check. How many moves down the road did I see h5 check? And after h5 check, he's dust. Let's find out. So this is move 1. Move 2 that I saw was this one. 3, queen checks, king g2 is 4. Number 5 is bishop takes bishop. Just an awesome move. Okay. 6, queen takes. 7 is rook e2 check. 8 is king h3. 9 is queen f1 check. Now this is check and takes. Very easy to calculate, relatively speaking. 9th move, queen f1 check. 10th move, he gets annihilated with rook to h4. I just simply play rook takes pawn check, and it's over. I'm going to take his queen, and my rook is completely unattacked. So he has to play king g4. The best move. That's 10 moves. I've looked deep. And now the crushers, I saw that h5 is a move 11. The crusher. Best move. How many best moves in a row did I play? A bunch. Okay. And you know you're on. Notice that in my mega training videos, I refer to this queen as a fence queen. This is a fence post. He cannot pass this fence. So when I check him, king g5 or king h4 both lose. He plays this is a star. It is the best move. It's actually the least terrible. Every move he plays is horrible. Not because of the player. I'm not insulting the player. The position is now to the point where every move loses badly. So it's just one of those deals. This way, at least he gets something for his queen. Rook e5 check. Easy to find. This is, I calculated 11 moves. And then his 12th move would be king to g5. And then I was going to play this check here. So 13 moves I saw from way back here because it's a very straight line to calculate all these moves. Let me show this to you one more time. And it's important to build this ability that I saw rook to e8 and that I'm in the driver's seat and I'm controlling the action, and which makes 13 moves visualized. I'm chasing him. He's moving. It's a static position. Very few pieces actually move. And when you have a static position with limited responses, yes, you can calculate 13 moves deep like the engine does, okay? So it's a special condition, but you train for this position so when it comes up, man, I hammered this guy. So here you go. That was 1. Let's count the best moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the best move. 5, 6, 7. That's the best move. That's the 4th one in a row. 8, 9. Your moves are always in your calculations are always the odd number moves. Okay, so 5. That's 5 direct stars. Best moves. Whatever. 6, 7. That's 7 consecutive best moves available. 8. He resigned. So when you play chess, to be honest, you're living for this kind of a position. This is the reason you play chess, to me. I mean, I uncorked 8 consecutive best moves, and I was feeling good. My spidey senses were, they were just on point the whole time. Like, dude, I'm doing good. I guess now we didn't, this isn't a perfect game. It's not like that at all. Both of us had a chance. I missed rook b5. He missed rook b5. Welcome to the real world of chess. Okay. He played a lot of good moves, man. You have to look at this guy and go, hey, he played a lot of good moves. He made really a couple of moves that were kind of eh. And on the other hand, I was lucky enough to recognize there was a weakness that I could exploit. And that's what it boils down to in upper level chess is that you make a move that's a mistake, and if your opponent doesn't capitalize on it, you can come through and win the game like this, vice versa. You know, he makes a move that you don't see he makes a mistake that you don't see, well, then he can come back and hammer you. It works both ways, okay? So really, this was a great validation game after I had a couple close ones that just didn't go my way, all right? The other guys played moves that were a little bit better than the ones that I played, and, well, you know, you win some, you lose some, okay? But anytime you beat a good player, it makes you feel good because you're doing what you're training to do. And that's what I do is I train to do this, and it's fantastic. And this is the kind of stuff I point out in my mega training videos because they will force you to get better. You're not going to be good players unless you work to beat good players. Let's go back here and check this out. The move that I would say, man, I have to say probably the move that cost him is not playing bishop to h6. This has to be the move that, what is the position? You know, shows here minus 2.3. So yes, he's still in the game. This is still a competitive game. Now, he runs into a problem. I have bishop to d3. That's a skewer of his queen and rook. And that's what the computer shows right here. It's the best move. Now, I leave those on there. It doesn't matter. I don't look at that. I'm looking at the board and I'm reading the board because when you're playing in the game, and like I said, I come from the old school. I played tournament chess. The only way you win tournaments is to win games like this for real. And in the real tournaments, there's no recommended move on the side to the right. There's no evaluation bar on the left. All you have is your chess eye and your chess brain. Both of us played some chess eye moves that were okay-ish. And that's the thing. I always say chess eye is good, chess brain is better. This bishop to h6 is a good move, but he is smoked right here. He is getting smoked. I don't care whether he trades blah, blah, or what. I am going to get this rook. So he can play bishop takes, probably the best move, right? Yeah, bishop takes, rook takes. It's not check. I could take his queen. He takes my queen. I take his rook. Is that the right move? Yeah, it says rook takes is the move. Rook takes check. Queen takes. He's going to move queen to whatever, guarding the rook. I take it. He goes here. And then the problem, well, I guess I have knight. Man, this is tempting. What about just taking this? What happens? It's less winning. It's what it's showing mathematically. He's going to take my queen, of course. But here I'm just going to take his rook. Oh, he's going to play bishop to h3, that jerk. But his bishop is hanging. This is the key. He's losing. I don't know why it says he's not losing is bad. This bishop, well, no, I guess he's even. That's why. But he's losing. The correct move is rook takes bishop, not bishop takes queen. So he's got to move his queen or play rook takes f8. Check is fine. Again, we don't want to give him, if king takes, he plays queen to f2. The thing that I was going to tell you, but was distracted by, is you've got to look and see which moves you consider that would turn out to be blunders. So, like when I played rook takes f8, I don't want to play king takes rook on f8 because queen f2 check in between move hammers me. All right? So here he's going to have to play queen to b2 or queen to a2, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, probably bishop takes is the right move. Queen takes, and what's the situation? Situation here, e3 is a nasty move. Oh, it's so nasty. 50-50 that I see e3. Now, the thing about e3, it's obvious to see, is that you got knight c4 backing it up, but you're threatening this queen f2 check followed by e2. So, yes, I probably would have seen this. It just becomes a point of you calculate it correctly, whatever. He's got to play what? Queen e1 looks like the best move. Queen to a2. That stops this move, which is very good. Okay, queen a2 is a very good move, actually. I would think the normal move is queen to e1. This is a terrific move. But what are we at here? Minus 2.8. But what queen to f5? Knight to c4. Oh, dude, it's nasty. I can play knight to c4, queen takes knight, queen f2 check, followed by e2, and it's over. He can't stop the queening. This is a nasty move right here. You know, again, in a real tournament game, I probably find this move of knight to c4. Rapid chess, it's 50-50, okay? But the thing is, the whole game has been going good. My spidey senses were on, and when you have this feeling, you're going to find better moves because you're just in a positive mental frame, all right? What is this guy doing? You're just getting annihilated. Queen to e2. Okay, that makes sense. Now queen f5, right? Yeah, of course. You know, I'm looking for holes in the position, and this is what's going on, threatening to check him, which is just nasty. It's just nasty. Check, he goes to there. It's not winning. It's like I'm on the verge of winning. I guess I'm threatening check, queen f1, knight to d2 looks like a winner. Bishop to h3. The threat is this. Queen here, queen to f1, knight to d2, attacks his queen and defends my queen. If he trades queens, I play knight takes, and I'm forking his two pawns, c3 and a3, and he's still got to deal with my e-pawn. He'll win it, but I'm going to abuse these pawns on the queen side. I am winning this game. But it's still a battle. That's the difference. The bishop h6 move is a difference-making move. It gives him a chance to survive and create new counter threats. And as my dad says, give the guy options, and you give him a chance to screw himself. That's what my dad would say. That's why this bishop h6 move is a devastating move. He's still losing objectively, but you're going to have to play up here moves to get it. All right. I thought that rook takes f8 check was the obvious. It's not an obvious loss because it looks like, I thought really queen takes e4 is better than this. What about queen takes e4? Does he get annihilated by queen takes, bishop takes, rook to f1 check? It's ugly because I have bishop d3, rook a1, knight forks. It looks like he's getting destroyed. So the rook check looks, this is the chess I move. It looks good, gets out of danger, etc., etc. Turns out it's actually a losing move. But it's very difficult to see. You have to see rook to e8 is just a crusher's move. When I found this move and I realized that he can't move the bishop without getting annihilated, I felt great. So that's the thing that was so good about this game. So I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of long, but there was a lot of stuff going on here. And like I said, I knew it was good and I could feel it. This is the type of position that I'm comfortable in. And when you're comfortable in your positions, you're going to do better. And I did. So thanks for watching the video. Tell your friends. I look forward to seeing you guys in another video. And as always, like and subscribe.